And thank you for watching the 802 Scoop Weekly Wrap, filmed live here in the Inside Scoop studio.
Streaming live.
Live to the 802 Scoop. And that's on North Main Street, Barrie, Vermont.
Yeah.
And of course, with us today, we have the lovely Raylene.
Thanks.
How you doing?
Good, good. I actually adopted that name last night after you told me some things. I decided that I would adopt that name for a few moments. But
So should we prep people that are watching?
Well,
that
not
Raylene's
quite
a
yet.
Little, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, prep them that I'm a little like tonight.
Yeah, Raylene's a little.
I am like a little cat on a tin roof because, yeah.
Yeah.
The last.
Good evening, Glenn.
You know, the last few days it has been a little crazy.
It has been a little bit crazy.
I don't even know if I'd say the last few days. I think the last few years. In the last few days, it's just gotten out of control. But yeah, good evening, Glenn. It's good to see you. I did a show this afternoon, a podcast with John Rogers, Lieutenant Governor. And that was great. It was great to have him in, great to see him. He's just so relaxed and to the point, and I love that he just speaks straight from the hip, and I really think that we're lucky to have him, and the whole team. So that makes me happy.
I agree. I absolutely love John Rogers. He's a really great guy. Just a great guy. He actually did he ran the joint House and Senate. Mm-hmm. And it just, yeah. No, I have to agree. I didn't watch the video, but I'm sure it was good.
He did tell me that you guys are probably going to go a little long into the end of May, and he did. He kind of sounded like what you just said, but hey, it's only a couple of months. Suck it up, Buttercup. And he was going back to work because he had stuff to do. So, anyways, it was good. It was good to have him and talk about some really important issues, homelessness, the hotel program, the 72-hour rule for the special show that we like to have here up at the Auditorium Hill. It just we talked about that, and clean heat we talked about, and treatment, substance use treatment. We talked about that, and so a lot of good information I felt, and I don't like to get too deep into. I'm not like you all on Capital B. You get into this bill and that bill. I want to have interviews when it's me that I can talk one-to-one, kind of like, oh yeah, and we talked about car inspections, and he'd like to do away with them.
Did he really?
Yes.
He said, let's get rid of car inspections?
He did. And so those are the kind of conversations. So I want to be able to, that's why we have a couch. I want it to be comfortable, sit on the couch, have a conversation with somebody, and not so, because I think you get more information that way.
Yeah.
When it's a relaxed, not a local news station with a mic in your in your face, bombing the questions at you left and right that are, it's good to shoot from the hip. So
I agree.
yeah.
And it is cozy. The couch, for those that don't know, and if you want to know, you can come down and join us.
Yes, you can come down and have
sit
a
on
show.
this
You can
very
sit on the
comfortable
couch.
couch.
Yeah.
It's not uncomfortable. Hey, and it's the first couch, that we've had on a podcast. It's great.
It really is. It
Although
really is. I was
technically, is
glad
it
we
a
decided
couch
to
or
do
is
it.
it a love seat?
I think it's a
Miss
love
Lovely
seat.
Raylene.
Yeah, it's a love seat. That's what it is.
It's a love. Tim Landry says car inspections. Are you saying that you don't like them or that you like them?
No, he was saying that we also talked about that. I think.
Whoops.
I think.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Because that's what reminded me was because I saw that comment.
This is not capital B, but I will say that I did testify in front of the Transportation Committee about scaling back the car inspections.
Yeah, he wants to do away with them
Oh, he does?
altogether.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no! Tempt me with a bad time.
yeah, exactly. So it was a good conversation, and
Yeah.
I was honored to have him come in. I would like to see.
Joe says get rid of car inspections. I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. I'd love to see Governor Scott in here, and
Oh.
that could possibly happen.
Really?
We have sent, a request, our request in, and so that could happen. And yeah, just talk to a few more, and maybe you could just have them on Capitol Pete instead. I don't know, but I
No,
like the one-on-one interaction.
Yeah, I think
better.
for Phil Scott, it would definitely be good for you to get that interview
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely something really good.
So looking forward to that. So anyway, moving on to the crud, and it continues constantly, and I was referred to as MAGA. Like that totally blew my mind. I took great offense to that. I'm very far from MAGA. I'm sorry.
I think the
and this is not my MAGAphone.
I think that so for folks that don't know what Raylene's talking about, and she's about to get hot under the collar on it.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
There was a Reddit chain that somehow somebody sent it to me, and it was absolutely hilarious. I laughed at it. I thought it was funny, but it called Raylene MAGA. A MAGA something.
It was like the MAGA queen of the
queen of the
city.
podcast.
Yeah, or the
something like
podcast or whatever.
MAGA,
like, are you shitting me? Why? Because I will say exactly what's on my mind, so that makes me MAGA. Because I don't hold back, and if you are spewing shit out of your mouth, I'm going to call you on the carpet about it. Absolutely.
Wait, hold up. We should probably, once again, a disclosure
that there's
Raylene
probably going to be cussing going on.
There's going to be some cussing. Raylene's really hot under the collar on this.
But seriously, if you were doing something that I felt needed to be called out, I would call you out too, and I have before.
That's true.
While we were live, I've backed right out at you, and you've sat over there red in the face like, holy hell. And when we've done the show, you've said, what the hell? Why are you being mean to me? Because that's the way I am, and I don't do it to be mean. I just do it to be honest, and that's the way I do it. But to the stuff that I've seen in the last several days. So let's say right now that calling people murderers, rapists, pedophiles, talking about if you are somebody who is Republican, that you're obsessed with genitalia. I mean, that kind of stuff is just disgusting. It's disgusting. And to associate those things are absolutely ridiculous. So my take on all of this is that we have a bunch of progressives that have realized that they're the minority, and they're a little bit scared shitless, so they have to make up the most horrible stories they can possibly make up about somebody or a party, so that it scares people. And really, it's all just it's a bunch of bullshit. It is. I mean, to call somebody a rapist, first of all, that accusation is extreme.
It is.
And if you have ever been sexually assaulted, I'm telling you right now, you would not call somebody that. That is not something that you joke around with. It's something that's extremely serious.
Yeah.
And so to come out and say shit like that, what is wrong with you? Literally, what is wrong with you? And to call somebody a murderer because they don't want to put so much more.
Well, okay, so just for clarity, because you're talking about me, correct?
Not just you.
Oh.
No, not
okay.
just you at all. I mean, you can clarify your portion of it if you want.
Sure. So I've joked around about, people calling me a murderer because of my stance on the
But they
hotel
have
motel.
called you.
Well,
That's it's not a joke.
They haven't said that I'm a murderer.
No, you
They
you condone murdering children.
Oh, is that what it actually said?
In this most recent.
Oh, really? I must have missed that portion of it.
So, it comes from not supporting the hotel motel extension. You're not willing to extend the program or put more funds into it. And other people aren't as well. The governor isn't willing to do it either. But it's certainly, and I believe it was Joanne Reynolds that had a problem with you wanting the open shelters, like creating one up at the BOR or at the auditorium, because you talked in your statement about not knowing what goes on in the depths of the hallways of the.
So let me
Right.
explain that comment, because it was a response to another Front Porch Forum post
Exactly.
about children. And I'll be honest with you, it was a little tongue in cheek when I said it, because I was so irritated by the original comment that
But
I
I
said.
disagree with you. So it's not tongue in cheek. So here's straight from the horse's mouth as somebody that actually knows. I've gone into apartments to drag my son out, and the mother is there and her children are there, and there's a bunch of people there
mean
smoking
hotels?
crack.
Hotels
No,
or apartments?
both apartments and hotels.
Okay.
State-funded housing. Green Acres, Highgate, the one up in Berlin, and then the Hollow Motel. I've gone into those places before to drag my son out of there, and had moms in there with their children, and the room is so full of crack smoke and everything else, or God knows what's going on. I know for a fact there have been children that have overdosed on paraphernalia that they have found. I know for a fact that there have been children that have gone to school with maybe little baggies or needles or other paraphernalia in their backpacks, probably because they've been used. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in the hotels is doing this, but there are a good amount of people. And if you're there with your children and you're not doing that, that's a pretty shitty situation for them to be in, because you don't know what's happening. You don't know what your child could possibly pick up in the hallway. So don't tell me your lies and your bullshit. You live in an alternate world, not us. You are unwilling to see that. You're so stuck on the fact that we're unwilling to provide housing for people, a lot of people that aren't even from here. I met people just 3 weeks ago. Somebody made a post on, and it was that really cold weekend. They made a post on Barrie, Vermont chat. They were looking for food. They had not been able to get down to the food shelf or make arrangements for food for the weekend. They were hungry. They wanted food. I was willing to go get them food, go get them pizza. I brought them the pizza and a few other groceries for the weekend. Standing there talking to them, I met them. They are from the southern part of the United States. Where? Tennessee. They came here on a bus with two other couples. One of the other couples had 2 children, and the other ones were just a couple, and they were just a couple, the ones I brought food. They were here, no winter clothing, nothing. They came here. They had filled out the paperwork for assistance, and they were waiting. They were waiting for assistance. But that's why they came here, was for the services. And they're not afraid to tell you that. They will tell you that. We can't afford to do that. And we don't have the climate for people to be here. We just don't. Nor the room, and definitely not the funds. We're bleeding constantly as it is. Nobody's saying it to be rotten or mean. Do we want to see kids out on the streets? Absolutely not. Does that break my heart? Absolutely. But God damn it, get off your ass and do something about it then. And if you're constantly being given money, what is the incentive to do something better? What is the incentive? And if you are somebody who is taking drugs, selling drugs, housing drug dealers in these hotel rooms with you, because we know that happens too, that's fact, that's not bullshit, that's not a made-up story. We are not the ones living in an alternative world. These people are, and they want people to believe this crap. And it blows my mind. And it blows my mind that they target it by calling people rapists, homophobic, transphobic, murderers, pedophiles, obsessed with genitalia. That's how they fight against this. Seriously? Or to say that there is no problem here. It's the just the crabby business people in Barrie, whining about what's going on down here. No, there's an uptick in crime. There's cars stolen, vehicles broken into. There's, vandalism constantly in the churches. There's people that don't dare to go into their jobs. There's people that, they lock the churches during the day now. Churches never used to be locked up. Well, you could go into a church anytime you wanted to sit and be either with somebody or alone. They were open to the public. Now they've locked them up, and you have to call ahead, knock on the door, whatever, to gain access because they can't leave them open anymore.
No, I mean, I think of the situation there where there was a gentleman that walked into
a classroom.
The Catholic church, not the Catholic church, but the Catholic school, St. Monica's.
Yeah.
And stood there until they gave him money.
Right. He was refusing to leave during a class, and then, and the same thing goes with you voting for the school stuff. So, you're trying, God forbid, you want money to go to private schools and even church schools.
So let's just be.
But that's what they're saying. That's what the article says. That's what they wrote. Correct. So even the church schools. Well, are you serious? Why would you want anybody to go to a religious school? Even the religious schools. Why is a religious school any worse than a Montessori school?
So, well, that's a valid point.
I just want to know.
And I just need to clarify my statement on that because I think people get a little elevated when I make comments. We talk about school choice, and I think there's some good ideas for school choice. I think that, but as I've constantly said, is that you can't have school choice at the expense of our public schools. Mm-hmm. But I'm more than willing to listen to it. If it makes sense and it doesn't hurt our public schools, I'm all in.
Right. But that's not what's being shouted out there because they need to manipulate to make you look like some horrible person, this horrible person that is the chair of the school board, and you're trying to dismantle the educational system, and you MAGA Trumpster, you. What is wrong with you, Michael?
You know what's wrong with me? I won by 1,800 votes.
Yeah.
And I had over 400 over the next one.
And you want to know why?
And I haven't changed my message.
And you want to know why? Because people are tired of the shit. People are tired of it.
That's true.
People are waking up and saying, whoa, wait a minute, we can't take anymore. This is too much. We're bleeding ourselves dry. We're having all we can do to make ends meet, support our family, get groceries, put gas in our cars, pay for daycare, and then add everything else on top of it. I mean, people are hurting badly, and they're just fed up. They're fed up with the handouts and the constant need to save everyone. We're at the point where we have to save ourselves.
Yeah, I think there's
In a
there's
big
certainly
way.
some truth to that.
Yeah, I mean, it just it it's super annoying, and the crap that was in that Reddit thing just blew my mind. I mean, come on, just get over yourselves. And the thing is that I can read it and I can pretty much tell you who wrote all that shit, because it's all fake names.
Yeah.
It's not any like the name they assigned me was hysterical. I'm not telling what it was. But I bet you people will be able to figure mine out too. But you can always, I can almost tell you who Josh is, who Joe is, who Erica is. I can almost tell you who every person is just by the shit that they spew. And, I don't know. Maybe we should start our own little thing. I don't know. In Reddit, but it'll be like Front Porch Forum, where we're not allowed to put that stuff, right? Will they not let us, or
So
do they allow
Reddit's
anything?
like really, I guess.
So
I've never
they wouldn't
used Reddit
say
before.
that we can't do it in return.
I don't think so. I think it's like a super. I don't know enough about Reddit, so I just saw the post and I laughed my tuchus off because it was so funny.
Yeah.
I mean, gross, but funny. I mean, it was
gross.
funny because
it was ridiculous. I mean,
right.
accusing
it would be
accusing
like
us of sexually explicit things with squirrels, and dead squirrels at that. I mean, really, how old are you? How fucking old are you that you think that you would need to spew that stuff? You have the stuffed squirrels. Big deal. I mean, what are they for? Because the secret squirrels or whatever. Who cares? But to spew can you imagine if you did the same in return? If you did the same in return, if you started spewing this crap, and it was spewed at one point in time, and this is the part that I really want to make perfectly clear, is that at one point in time, when a bunch of us were kind of, we're trying to figure out elections, we're figuring out campaigns and whatever, and we're all talking about stuff. And that is kind of like when the city and the town were working together politically. We don't really do that anymore. And I really feel like I know exactly when it happened. I know it happened, the breakup happened when a member of the Progressive Party was accused of something that he absolutely did not do.
Yeah.
He was accused of I'm not even going to say it. It was just something horrendous. And that's when we said, nope, that's too far. Yeah. That is not okay. We were very outspoken about it being not okay. And that was the divide right there. That was like, nope, this is not the way we want things to go or to be. And because, like I said, those are extremely serious accusations. They are not things that you should be saying no matter where you stand, no matter what party you are involved in. It's disgusting. And really, I think it should be criminal. It's defamation doesn't even come close to some of the shit that I've been reading and hearing. Not even close.
Yeah.
It's harassment, and it's and like I said, I'm still like reeling from the whole calling me MAGA thing, and I am certainly not. I'm not homophobic. I'm not transphobic. I'm not racist. I'm not a murderer. I'm not a rapist. I'm not a pedophile. I'm not obsessed with genitalia. I'm none of the things that they say. What I am is outspoken, and what I am is very tired of the bullshit that's been crammed down my throat for 3 years. That's where it is. That's where it's at. And me being vocal about, my opinion, and I've always said it's my opinion. It is my opinion that they should not be talking about these things and dealing with transgender issues in schools. Why? Because we already put enough on our teachers. Our teachers are already trying to teach and be parents. That should be something that's handled with professionals. A teacher, that is not okay to put that shit in their lap too. It's just not. But it's not okay. You know what else is? It's not okay to say if a heterosexual couple that was seeing each other in school wanted an abortion. You shouldn't be going to your teacher about that either. There's guidance counselors, there's professionals, there is a place for that stuff. And it should not be placed in the classroom for a teacher to deal with that already has so much shit on their plate.
I agree. That's understandable.
And from kids that are living in hotels with, rooms that are, in fact, several of them are filled with cracks, smoke from people smoking crack and doing drugs and paraphernalia. And the same with some of the subsidized housing units. Again, not all, but it's a good share of it. Our kids are living in really shitty times. So putting them up in a shelter where they could be overseen, as the lieutenant governor said today, where it could be seen that maybe they need services, maybe they need help, and for their own protection, isn't a bad friggin' idea. At least their roof over their head, services available, they're warm, they're dry, they're fed, and they're most importantly, they are safe. And they have professionals surrounding them to help. Far cry from what they have in a hotel. In a small, cooped up room anyways, that God only knows what's going on. So your statement, although you say tongue-in-cheek, really is not far off. And I'll argue that point all day because I can say I know firsthand. I bet you none of them have been in a hotel. They say they have. But
I mean, I think they probably have. I think
walk the halls in there. Have you ever gone in a room? Do you know any of the drug addicts that live there? Have you ever surprise visit them? This stuff is happening, and I'm tired of it being said, "Oh no, it's not."
Well, I mean, we know that people are dying in the hotels of drug overdoses because that's what 7 Days reported on it.
Right.
It said that that people were dying, and we as a state are not dealing with that. I will say
they're not dying outside in the freezing cold. They're dying in the hotels that we're providing them of drug overdoses that most likely they have money to pay for with the money they're given. And
I don't know that.
It's
I do know that pre-COVID-19, it was a $5 million program.
Right, and now
it's
like
a $45
$40
million program.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
But yeah.
Anyways, that is my rant. But that rant goes from horribleness to something that I put up this morning. And I don't know if you saw it. I'm scrolling to it now. But it is a jar. And it was a jar that I asked that people add a positive word to this jar that starts with the first letter of your name. And 45 people have chimed in so far with some really good words. And this brings me to our dear friend Dick Wabi. Richard J. Wabi and the 80%. So as much as I spew, and as much as these people totally piss me off, I agree that there is probably something about them or their beliefs that I agree with. And there are all kinds of different people. I don't know any of their political affiliations, maybe a couple. But for the most part, no, I have no idea. But they all have just really good words. Laughing, brilliant, thoughtful, legendary, ambitious.
Ooh, was Legendary my nephew?
No,
no,
it
'cause that
wasn't.
would've
It
been
was
Dawn.
actually Liam Hogan. But trustworthy, patient, joyous, respect, jazzy, all kinds of. And so that makes me believe that there is a piece of each one of those people that I agree with, right? Because those are all things that I love too. Who doesn't? And so can we just, like, do you have to stoop that low to make up stories about people that are just downright hideous? Can you not just take a breath and, fight your political beliefs? Do like Michael does and be straight up honest of why you wouldn't vote for something or why you would. Why do you not have the answer? Do you not know why you want these things? Because if you did, why aren't you writing that? Why aren't you writing your passion instead of calling somebody a rapist or a murderer or a pedophile? Why wouldn't you you stated very clearly where you stood and why. I have a ton of respect for you for that. And most often, that is the line that you take with a lot of things politically. You have been, even in your campaign with the stuff that you wrote, you have pretty much stuck to everything that you said. And maybe some things you've even grown to be a little more passionate about as you've learned and as you've grown down there as a freshman. So, but I don't see that from them at all. Why? Why?
Because they can't get elected.
No, but no, I mean,
I'm sorry.
But
I
even
couldn't
in
resist.
well, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're never going to if this kind of crud keeps up. That's the problem because the only thing we really know about them is hate and the constant hate that they want to spew. We don't know their beliefs. We don't know why they are so passionate about feeling. Why do you feel that way about a subject? Why? We don't know those things, and we'll probably never know because they're not willing to share it because they'd rather share the shit to make you look bad, or to make someone else look bad. And I say, we've come a long way, baby, since I started doing all this political stuff with all of you, and I think we're in a really good place right now. And I know very much that we're going to keep up the same role. That's the plan. Is that a lot of us are very passionate about the fact that we have a lot of things that we need to fix, and I'm not going to back down from that. And I hope that no one else does either. I hope that we all continue to charge forward to try to save us. Because right now we're in a shitty situation, and money-wise, tax, people are just feeling it hard, and we have a lot more things to deal with than, this kind of shit, and that's where we'll leave that.
All right, Raylene has spoken. She has done her rant. Do you feel better?
No, I really don't, because it really upsets me how disgusting and despicable people are. It really does. And, I think about us saying some of that stuff, and I just think, they would be the first one crying, poor me. And they talk about other people being victims and us, but they're always the victims. They always want to be the victim. Don't be a victim. Be a freaking tiger or something. Don't be a victim. Yeah, like, just
Yeah.
because somebody doesn't agree with you doesn't mean that they are just, these disgusting, horrible, despicable people that need to be sentenced to death or something. It's just gross.
All right.
But
Let's
you want to
let's
talk about
move on.
something good? Do you want to talk about the new? So we're going to start a new show,
Yep.
and I think that I've decided that we'll call it Table Talk because that's kind of like how I want it to be. I want it to be stuff going on in the community, stuff going on in Central Vermont. Sometimes we'll get into the weeds of shit like this, I'm sure, because it can't be helped. But for the most part, I want to be able to talk about our student athletes that have done some pretty amazing things that we don't talk enough about. And the career center and the trades, the career centers, the school, the trades, I really want to talk about just table talk, stuff that is community related, and sometimes that will be great things and sometimes it will be crappy things.
Now, is that going to be the show with...
So that is the daily show with my co-host that is anonymous, but until we have our first show on the 31st of March.
Ooh.
That is when we're kicking off. So, and it will be Monday through Thursday at 4 o'clock. And your next hint is this person was born and raised here and has served the community for many years. Served this community for many years.
Many, many years.
Yes.
On multiple
Yes.
levels.
On multiple levels. So that is the clue for this week. Yeah.
And his family has too.
You said his.
Oops.
Who said it's a his?
Oh, sorry. Is it a his?
Michael just blows everything
I
up.
blow everything up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But that's okay. I mean, it's getting close anyway, so it'll come out soon. But yeah, so now you know. You also get a big clue that it's a he. So.
Okay, so I won't give the other clue.
No, probably not. You probably should
Probably.
stick to not
I
giving
should
clues
not giving clues
because
out.
you suck at
Oh
it.
my goodness, am I the Tom Holland of the 802 Scoop?
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to have people come down here and flog you
She
now.
doesn't know who Tom Holland
It's the
is.
whole baseball thing, right? Is that what you're talking about? No? What are you talking about? Tell me.
Is it Tom Holland?
I have no idea what you're talking
Isn't
about.
Tom Holland Spider-Man?
Oh, I have no... You and your stupid-ass Batman references and your Spider-Man. I don't watch any of that shit. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Let me see. Yeah, I was right. Tom Holland. He's the new Spider-Man.
I don't even know what you're talking about when it...
So the
Who
MCU,
gives a crap about the new
I do.
Spider-Man?
I do. So the MCU, right? Do you know what the MCU is?
No. Why would I? I don't even watch TV. I've told you that like a million times.
It's the
There's
MCU.
like three shows that I watch on TV, and they're series, and I only watch them till they're over, and then I don't watch TV again for like 3 months until another one comes on.
It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No clue.
Do you know what Marvel is?
No.
Oh my goodness, the Marvel Comics?
No.
Batman, Iron Man.
I know who Batman is.
Or not Batman. Whoops, that's DC. Sorry. Iron Man, Thor.
No, I don't know those. And I know who Spider-Man is and stuff.
Captain
but,
America.
Probably because my brother dressed up for it as Halloween or something once, or that's the only reason.
Pop culture wasted. Tom Holland drops. They give him redacted scripts so that people don't know. Glad I can't give her a break. They give Tom Holland redacted scripts so that he doesn't tell the end of the story.
And I care about this. Why?
You don't, clearly.
No. I don't even know where the hell you're going with this or why you went there. But anyways,
I went
those
there
were the
because
clues.
I can't give out clues.
No,
I
you
can't know
cannot give
anything.
clues. You suck at it
I-
because you just give it away.
I'm like blah 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 blah.
Yeah, because you talk too much.
Everybody knows that.
Maybe you're the one that should have a MAGAphone.
I do, right? Isn't that what this is?
Yeah, this Queen MAGA crap. What the hell? And
Anyway,
oh, I can't
we're
even.
gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna
we
move
cannot
on.
go
We're
back
gonna
there.
move on.
We cannot go back there.
Back. We cannot go back. We
Yeah,
must go
you
forward.
get me all twisted up.
I know.
But Dick Wobby. Let's go with Dick Wobby and his 80%, and just his talking about. I have to remind myself of that all the time. I have to say, just remember there's something about that person that you really like, or that you could, even if you don't like them, you can agree with something that they say or that they believe in, or and there are people that I certainly my tolerance for them is very, but there are things about them that I say, oh yeah. And I've said things like that to you before. I've stuck up for some people that I would normally not, and said, but well, this or that. So I'm not as horrible as some people think. But just assholes.
It looks like you posted on the page a couple times about the executive order to get rid of the education department.
I did. Yeah.
Have any comments about that? Because we can talk about national politics here, right?
We absolutely can talk about. We can talk about whatever we want here, and so can anybody. Like, recently there have been some people that are trying to post in Front Porch Forum in defense of you, and their stuff keeps getting denied.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, they can't post because they mentioned somebody else's name or something.
Oh.
But it's okay. But they can do it. They do it and get away with it.
It's because because I'm a politician, so therefore it's okay.
Right. Well, no, they are talking about politicians, but you're the murderous one, so it's all right to talk bad about you.
Darkness.
Like, good gracious. Some of the kids have some really cool things going on, though. We have some kids in the sports. Please look through the page. We have some kids in sports that have done some pretty phenomenal things, broken records that are super old, from like the 1970s. They killed records that were old, beat them. We have some great things like that going on in the community. We have some concerts that the kids have done, things like that to keep track of. I thought this was super cool. John Lyon up at the Wilkins posted this morning and said, "Thank you, Bill, so gracious." This morning, Bill Frazier, Montpelier city manager, spoke to, which I think is the former Montpelier manager, right? Spoke to Wilkins Harley-Davidson team about leadership and his experience over 30 years. Some great quotes and questions came out of the talk. And so what a thing to keep in mind today. One of them was, people want to know you care before they care what you know. Part of good leadership is knowing you cannot do it alone or have all the answers. You need to rely on the experts within your team. You need to visit the balcony in order to separate yourselves from the daily reactive scenarios so you can see the larger picture and what is going on. Good leaders look for a better way to do things, yet also understand it may not always work, and be honest about the bad news. So those were good takeaways. And as a thank you to Bill for coming in to speak, Wilkins donated $250 to his favorite charity, which was the Central Vermont Humane Society. So super cool. Big shout out to Wilkins and to Bill. Thank you. So I thought that was cool. there is a burn ban in some areas of the state of Vermont, and the fire danger is moderate to very high, depending on where you are. Vermont Emergency Management shared those maps, and they're out and on the page. So check that out too. Always check before you burn this time of year, because it's like you think it's super wet, but it's really not. You get all that shitty grass on the top. Burns quick.
And you can always call the fire department and ask
Right.
whether or not you
Right.
can burn. In fact, I
And you
think
do
you're
have to have a
supposed
permit.
You do have to have a permit, and I think you have to call the fire department anyway when you go to burn.
And it's like $22 a year or $25 a year. I can't remember what the permit
You're
is,
welcome.
but it's a per year thing.
And I say what you're welcome because I'm the one that brought it down from $50. It's 25.
Oh my, yeah. So that's terrible. I did, everybody else, and of course, wow, right? Everybody did the happy spring post today. It's first day of spring and flowers and all this stuff. I did a muddy road and said happy spring. I mean, it's spring in Vermont. You got to get to that before you even get to the crocus and the daffodils, right?
Yeah,
you got to
that's
get
true.
through
You
the
gotta
mud
go
first.
through the mud season first.
Yeah, we
yep.
got to get through mud season first. But so I did a big old muddy dirt road with, and it's just funny, you know, because to me that's what comes first. The first day of spring says to me, okay, we're going to have maple syrup soon, fresh maple syrup really soon. It's going to snow at least one more time tonight, they say, maybe more. And because we got to have sugar snow, right? And the arches are all, you can see the steam pouring out of them. It's just a perfect time of year, but it's mud season. It's not, you look at the spring pictures and there are pictures of all these blooms and bright green grass. No, not yet. Not even close. We still got at least a month and a half before we even start seeing little bits of that. Because you don't even plant gardens until what, Memorial Day? Is that when? I think, yeah, you don't start planting until the end of May.
Listen,
unless you're planting
Do
inside.
I look like a person that does gardening?
No, I know. You go to Hannaford and buy that stuff.
You betcha.
But Lieutenant Governor said today that he thought that we should start growing a lot more of our food. It would be much more healthy.
He's
And
correct.
we would not be putting so much toxins in our body. We wouldn't be getting stuff from overseas, and
Valid.
you know, buy from local farms, grow your own stuff. You know, help sustain. Which I really thought that we learned in COVID a little more about, you know, the little guy, the mom and pops, when everything was closed down and you had to rely on your neighbor that maybe had, you know, eggs or this or that. And, but I guess we didn't. Yeah, the only thing we learned is that you can call the grocery store and have it delivered to you. Now you don't even have to go out.
That is true.
Yeah. You can have your groceries, your booze, you know, whatever you want. You can have it delivered right to your front door now. You don't even have to get out of your slippers. But please put your clothes on.
Yes, please do that.
Yeah, because that's just not nice
No. No.
to do that to people. Don't show up at the door with no clothes on, for
Yuck.
God's sakes.
Absolutely.
Remember when Jason told us that happened to him? He and Christmas for Kids, they went to drop presents off to somebody and the woman
yes.
answered
Oh
the
my
door
goodness, yes.
with nothing on. Can you even imagine?
That's not good.
Yeah, like, go get your rope.
So I do want to mention something really cool. I'm
Yeah.
looking at this. I'm very interested, actually. Totally rad 80s dance party.
Yeah.
March 22nd,
At the Elks
2025
Lodge.
at the Elks Lodge.
They do it every year.
Do they?
Yeah.
I wish I could.
And people get all dressed up in 80s garb for it and everything.
Can I dress up like Cyndi Lauper?
If you must. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
I'm not going to lie to you. That would be fun.
Well, so do it. I mean, nobody says you can't.
You know who says I can't? Clothes designers.
Oh. Come on, they make tutus for every size. She wore that tutu in one of her videos.
Yeah, girls
with
just want to have fun.
Yeah, with her crazy ass
Yeah.
tights or whatever on.
Yeah,
Yeah, that I remember.
Which, as a side note, Girls Just Want to Have Fun was not actually her song. It was somebody else's song.
Huh.
I don't remember who it was. Somebody that we obviously don't care about.
Yeah, obviously not,
Yeah.
because I don't know anything about it.
It's like the situation with Whitney Houston, where I Will Always Love You. Oh wait,
That's Dolly Parton
always. Yeah, it was Whitney Houston though.
that
Yeah.
sang it after
Yeah.
Dolly Parton years later. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Whitney did it better, but Dolly's great.
That's a matter of opinion.
Whitney's amazing. Don't be hating.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying it's a matter of opinion.
There's Granite City Blast Off Spring Invitational. Mm-hmm. That's going to be March 22nd, 8 a.m. to March 23rd at 3 p.m.,
Nice.
which seems like a really long time. Mm-hmm. It's 2 days.
I was kind of interested in this Green Mountain Games. It is a get out of the house or take a break from the ski slopes and get to the Winter Green Mountain Game Day for some tabletop action. Bring any tabletop game you wish to play. And this is going to be at the auditorium, 20 Auditorium Hill, right here in Barrie. $5.
Not too shabby.
It costs to get in there. $5 entry fee at the door. Food and drink will be offered for self-serve, but snacks, things like that. Masks are optional. It's accessible. They do permit animals, but yeah,
Cold
all that
Front.
stuff.
Cold Front is Cold Front a band?
It is.
Oh, I don't know
Michael's
anything
questioning,
about
and
bands.
they're
That's
they're going to
Cold
be at the
Front-
Den,
they're gonna
correct?
yes, they're going to be at the Den. A night of timeless tunes at the Den,
I'm looking forward
and
to
that's
that.
on Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m.
Yeah, and I believe that Seth and Sophie will be there this weekend too. Seth and Sophie do an acoustic set before dinner.
Oh,
Yeah, for a couple of hours.
nice.
Barb and I were there Tuesday night. We had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. It was packed house. We saw Sue Kelly, Sarah Akers. Sarah is starting her own band.
Sarah
she already-
Akers?
Yes, so she already has.
my.
It's called the Gas Station Nachos.
And they're going to be at the Den on the 30th.
Yes, they are, and so they
Gas
are.
Station
They will be
Nachos.
there. They're opening for Dirty Looks. It's Dirty Looks' final concert. The band is splitting up, and so that's going to be a pretty big night. We'll be there. I'll be there for Sarah and for the Dirty Looks. We'll go live, of course, a few times, but we'll be there for that event. But so Sarah was there with her keyboardist the other night. That was the only part of her band, but it was karaoke night. So she got up there to do karaoke, and her gram, who we know, Susan Kelly, and her mom, Shelley Brissett, were up there singing with her as well. They did a phenomenal job. It was great to see them. They were having so much fun. They did the line dancing. The beginner's line dancing is on Tuesday from 6 to 7. So that's before the karaoke starts. And they have been doing that and then joined in on the karaoke. It was just a ton of fun. But there's something that goes on there every single night. So, and they have amazing food. I can't say enough about how good the food is, and you get so much for the money you pay. You very much get your money's worth
Nice.
with the food. And we are having an event there at the end of the month, and that is the Brittany Burt Memorial Bingo Game, the annual game. So we'll be there on the 30th for that as well at the end of the month. And I'm just pulling that up now so I read it properly. But we will be doing that March 30th at the Den from 1 to 5. And so, so Sarah's not going to be there March 30th. she's going to be there May 30th, correct? At the Den?
The
Gas
30th.
station nachos
Yes.
of May, not March.
Oh, is it May? And it might be May.
Yeah.
My mistake. Well,
So
you should go to the Den
30,
on
right.
March 30th,
But
too.
on March 30th is the bingo, the Brittany Burt Memorial Scholarship Bingo fundraiser that we'll have 1 to 5. I'm calling the numbers. We're going to do some other fun things there at the Den again,
yeah,
1 to
that is
5
May.
on the
How did-
30th. And it's a great cause, and they do some really great things, some great scholarships. And last year they did some scholarships as well as a couple of friendship benches, one at each of the elementary schools. So just good things for that. And who doesn't love bingo? It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of prizes, and it's just a really good time over there. And we can always count on Kathy Codling coming. She's the bingo queen. Kathy Codling is. She takes her bingo very serious. Yeah. So, but anyways, come on out and join us. It's a lot of fun. And yeah.
Nice.
Veggie Van Go is soon coming up. So I posted that today. Keep watch so that you know what's going on. But it's not this coming Friday, but next Friday. I always try to post it a little in advance because it is during the daytime. And it's hard for people. I really wish they would do some alternate times or maybe a weekend every once in a while. But you can pick up for another family. If you're somebody that goes, you can pick up for another family. So just if you know somebody that might benefit, just ask around and see if there's any help that you can do to get that resource for somebody else as well. And again, that's March 28th from 9 to 10:30. So just put that on your calendars now so that you don't forget, and I'll remind you lots in between.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. As always, tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Vermont Daily Chronicle will be here for Fridays at 4. You want to tell what's going on this weekend?
Yep. So this weekend we've got Capitol Beat. It's going to be it's going to be me, Mike Taglavia, Gina Galfetti, possibly Topper McFawn, possibly Josh Dobervich, who is from Williamstown. He's on my poop list. Anybody that knows him, tell him that I said that he's on my poop list. He'll
Okay.
laugh. He'll laugh.
Okay.
Because he didn't vote for my amendment today. But anyway, and Teddy Wozniak is going to be here, which is going to probably feel awkward for Teddy because he's going to be like, I mean, he's the only Democrat in the room, and we're all Republicans. So hopefully we treat him well so he doesn't run away. Teddy's a good kid though. I'll say kid because he's old enough to be, or young enough to be my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be at 4 p.m. on Saturday because it doesn't work on Sunday, and live streaming, of course. And then, we'll obviously have Right Side Up on Tuesday morning. And yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that because I do love Teddy, not politically, but and he would say the same thing. Both of us would easily say, yeah, no, he should not be elected.
Okay, then.
But we love each other.
Oh, so there's a part that you can agree on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can agree on some
as
stuff.
Dick Wobby says.
Absolutely.
Right?
We can agree. Yes. The Republicans, we're all
No,
MAGA
Glenn, I am,
Republicans.
apparently. Like, it's just, yeah.
Anybody that's a Republican is being labeled a MAGA Republican, but I
Yeah,
don't
it
really
doesn't
care.
matter who you are. And like, I don't know. Don't get me started again. Like, fine. but to put it to that level, it's just
I mean, maybe people can call me because I don't really care what you call me. If you call me a MAGA Republican, you can call me a MAGA Republican.
well. I don't care what
really
you call me either. But what I'm saying is, don't spew lies.
Talk to me about issues.
Right.
Talk to me
tell
about issues.
I'll
tell you
why
what my
you're
thoughts
passionate,
are.
And that's what I want for them.
Yeah.
Tell me why you're passionate about that issue. Don't combat that issue.
Yeah.
That tells me nothing
me.
about why you're passionate about
that was
something.
Guy.
Right, that was Guy that they
Yeah.
called the rapist. But, you're the murderer. Guy's the
murderer.
rapist. And whatever. They have different it's all horridness. And so that's the response, though. That's the response you get. And so that tells me that they really don't even know what the hell they're fighting for at this point.
I think one of the posts
They
that
just
I
know
saw
they're
was,
losing.
They actually called Teddy and Amanda worse than the MAGA Republicans.
Yeah, that's what they did. They did. That's what they said about them in the Reddit
Yeah.
thing.
So Glenn, according to their standards, you might be a MAGA Republican, which we know that's not true. And he's like, no.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
come on.
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's the
We
most
can
absurd
all
shit I ever
disagree.
heard.
We can all have different opinions, and we can be very friendly.
Right, and state
Like I
those
said,
opinions. State those opinions.
Exactly. It's like
Have
I said with Josh
conversation.
Dobrovich. I was talking to him today, and he, like I said, he voted no on my bill. And of course, I sent because the pages at the State House, they deliver papers, little notes, and I sent him a note, and it was a little poop emoji and a little list, and I said, "You're on it."
Taxpayers are paying for that?
I don't know if the page. Funny. I don't know if the pages get paid for that. They're little kids. They're
Yeah.
like eighth graders.
Yeah. No,
They
I'm
go
not
around
saying that we're paying for you to sit there and write little notes like that, is what I'm saying. I'm being a smart ass because I'm sure that that's what somebody's going to come out with now. Our taxpayer dollars are going for you guys to send notes back and forth to each other, Yeah.
And I could have texted
With emojis?
it, but it wouldn't have been nearly as awesome as. So let me just tell you how great it is, because I think it's really good for the kids. I think they enjoy it.
I know some kids that have been page, before, and
I mean,
they loved it.
It's they do. I think they do like it, and it gives them something to do,
Mm-hmm.
and it also makes like, I think people feel like when you're in the State House, when one of the kids comes up with the piece of paper, you're like, oh, is it gonna be me? And then you're like wicked sad when it's not.
Are you sure you're not the only one that feels that way?
I'm positive. I've talked to people. Everybody agrees. They like it when they get the little
Like,
notes.
oh, we're gonna get mail. We're gonna get mail.
gonna get
Oh,
mail.
damn.
We're not getting. Mark my words. Legislators love to get the little page mail or whatever it's called, the pink mail. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. Interesting.
There'll be 40, 50 people getting pink mail tomorrow from me. It won't be pink though, it'll be green. It'll be me thinking.
Glenn says, come back from the Marvel universe, Michael. That's why I like.
Yes, sir.
That's why I like Glenn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He'll get me.
Yeah.
He'll get me.
So
It says, reminds me of candy grams when we were little. Yes, everybody loves them. Yes, get the little candy grams. You want to hear something funny?
Yes.
So what I've been doing is I send out like cards. I sent it out for Valentine's Day to everybody in the Capitol, and I sent it out for St. Patrick's Day as well. And one of the chairs thought it was the kids that were sending out these cards. So he bought all these Tootsie Rolls and gave it to the pages, and they were like, yay! And he didn't know that it was
they were
me.
all you?
Yeah.
And were you like, where's my Tootsie Rolls?
No, I was like, that's amazing. I think that's amazing.
It is amazing.
The kids got the credit for it, and they got the Tootsie Rolls. I
It
think
is
that's
amazing.
awesome. I think, you know what we need in the State House? A little less, a little less
Divisiveness?
divisiveness, and maybe a little bit more friendliness.
We need that like all over.
Yeah. And you can disagree. You just vote
Right, you can
differently.
disagree.
And then you just call the person a bunch of names and then give them a hug and move on. Mm-hmm. That's what I do. Animosity. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have all kinds of names that I could call for sure at this point. But I'm not.
You're a
I'm not
little
going
upset.
to. I'm going to behave.
Yeah.
But I am outspoken, and that's not going to change. I'll call anybody on their shit, no matter who you are.
This is true. This is
And
true.
I'll do it in front of you or
Yeah.
behind the screen. I'll do it either way. You know that too.
I do know
I'll
that.
go right toe to toe with somebody. I do not give a shit. And yeah.
Yeah.
I'm missing 5 toes, so most people have an advantage
I will say.
when I go toe to toe.
This is true. This is very true.
Yeah.
Very true. But the real question is, with your 5 toes, can you still beat me at pool?
I could kick your ass at most things, but I couldn't kick your ass at pool because I've never played a game in my life of pool. I don't even know how to
But
hold
Barb
the
can.
stick. I could probably whop you over the head with it, knock you flat on your ass, but I couldn't play pool. I've never played before.
Wendy.
Barb's
Wendy
going to
makes-
teach me.
Barb can teach you.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy says, I feel like more people need to ask how to compromise than settle in to disagreeing. Practice till you get progress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, want to say thank you
And you'll see everybody on Saturday.
on Saturday, 4 p.m. And thank you for watching the 802 Scoop
Yes.
live here.
Don't forget your clues and don't forget to vote.
Yes.
You can vote by messaging 802 Scoop or me directly. Either one. You can do either one. And the clue was the person has served this community for a really long, long time. And that the person, what was the other part of it? Oh, was born and raised here.
Yep.
So that's the clue for tonight. And the first show is the 31st at 4.
All right. Have a
Good
great
night,
night.
everybody.